Good morning, everybody. Thanks again for joining me on another segment of Ask Nina. Today, I have a very special guest with me. You see here, Emily Grundy. Emily Grundy is the designer, account executive for Sherwin-Williams in Eastern Canada. And she supports the residential interior designers like myself with color and paint specifications. And she provides continuing education for designers and industry partners. She works with the Canadian Design Account team and is dedicated to the exploration of color and trends with the Sherwin-Williams Colors Forecast team. And Emily comes with a lot of knowledge, and so we're very excited to have her here with us because paint is always a key topic for us. As it's one of the least expensive ways to refresh a home and a space. And there are just so many different color choices and finishes and technologies actually when it comes to paint. And Emily is going to join us and share her knowledge with us. So we're very excited to have you, Emily. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nina. I'm really glad to be here today with you. You are my first YouTube star that I'm doing this with, so I'm very excited to share some colorful information as well as some product information with you on how to, again, improve that indoor air quality in your home using some paint technologies that are just brand new on the market. So let's get started.
Yeah, that's amazing. We're very excited to have you, and you're going to share a little presentation with us?
Yes.
Awesome.
So let's head into that now.
Okay, let's make sure the sharing is okay. Here.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Putting you up there. Okay. So first off, I'm going to be starting with color. So for 2021, we're really focusing on the importance of color in design and in our lives as a whole. So in the next, 10, 15 minutes or so, I hope you find some colorful moments of joy and excitingness in this first palette of the Color Forecast 2021.
Perfect.
So the first palette is actually called Sanctuary. So this is really showing us the importance of celebrating nature. We're going to talk a little bit about the principles of biophilic design, which is essentially bringing nature inside and showing us how the natural warm tones and muted tones have this remarkable ability to bring wellness and calm into your space.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've seen a lot of that happening, that trend happening this past year too, right? Like, I don't know if it's been, spurred on by the pandemic, but people are looking for natural earthly elements.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about kind of getting back to basics, but still keeping your interiors really beautiful and kind of reflective of your personality. So let's take a look.
Okay.
So we're learning to take a pause and really seek out respite within our space, whether we like it or not with the pandemic happening. So it's really that attainable goal that we're all searching for. That's a space that can create calm and shows us what's important to focus on. So we're looking at a lot of minimalism and Scandinavian design, which continues to be a super strong influence for 2021. So we're seeing this very interesting balance between creative expression and warm minimalism. So for this Sanctuary palette, we're showing how this cozy chic attitude is influenced by the Scandinavian design. And it beautifully combines these understated lines with rich textures and lots of warmth bringing back into the space, which is a little bit different than last year. Am I right? We were looking at a lot of cooler kind of tones last year, which was kind of interesting.
And some really bold colors too last year.
Yes. Yeah. And now we're getting back to a more kind of chill interior color scheme. So to go along with that chill interior color scheme, we're looking at 2021 as the year of less is more. I think everybody did that, beginning of the pandemic purge, where they just got rid of all of their stuff in excess that was taking up space in their homes.
For sure, to make room for working from home.
Yes, they needed to clear out some rooms and make some space. So the Sanctuary palette is really all about that. It's all about enjoying the beauty of, again, these natural materials, like you were saying, the tactile, the ergonomic. These are the pieces that are really working in your space. So they're not just those items of kind of frivolous beauty. So for the color side of things, these new neutrals encompass lots of bone whites, sandy hues, camel, beiges, and even oatmeal shades. So I think I would suggest for you to try something new this year, looking at these relaxed tonal pairings to evoke a very gentle pace within your space with mindful living, cozy stylings, and inviting a very textural feel to your space. So I love the concept of layering. Sorry, go ahead, Nina.
Yeah, I see a lot of beige returning, like in design, they do say that it does come full circle, and I do see a lot of beige in the palette. And I can already hear some of my customers saying, whoa, the colors I already have are coming back, but it's not the same.
No, they are back because yes, I agree. Design is very circular, but they're back in a little bit of a different way. I mean, they're still on that gray neutral side. They're not the total warm beiges of kind of the yesteryears.
Yeah, the yellows, right? With the yellow.
Yes, exactly. We're seeing a little bit more of that grayscale still kind of peeking in and peeking through with the designs. So as I was saying,
looking at some of your pictures too, like when it's paired with the light wood and whites, it's very fresh and neutral and warm at the same time, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's all about really layering. So we're talking about materials, tonality, structures to create the concept of cozy. So I mean, it's not all about big knit blankets and oatmeal walls. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that. It's about pairings that are going to shape your space through form and also through function of their design elements. So let's talk about some more colors. So browns continue to experience this huge resurgence, usage of warm kind of reddish brown colors to ochre, even the deeper bronze colors, which is actually our color forecast of the year, which is Urbane Bronze. So these rich hues have a really vintage appeal to them with a very cozy but very luxurious edge. So I think the importance of browns as this kind of directional color this year is due to the versatility of hues across a very diverse range of materials. So we're looking at that, as you said before, with those natural woods and also like lived in leathers and plush fabrics. So it's all about bringing in different tonalities of these browns to create that layering concept within your space.
Do you have that color of the year, the bronze?
Yeah, it'll be on the,
okay.
Yeah, that's on the last slide. So this one might surprise you, but these very earthy and pigmented colors are continue to grow increasingly relevant for 2021. So this is a very versatile color family that warms up both commercial and residential interiors. So these are these rust hues that offer a very calm and comforting, sophisticated look. So dusted hues really complement both warm and cool tones. So it's a key connection to nature and craft that we're seeing. So this is kind of like that patinaed look where the rusting and the time-worn look is adding, again, that new layer of personality to your space.
We actually painted my husband's office an accent wall in this rust color, and it's great for his office. It's not a color for me because I do like the gray tones, but it's his office, his space, and it looks great for his office because of the furniture that he has there, and he loves to collect I guess records and vinyl, so it works really well in that space.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is if these kinds of colors aren't your favorite, that's okay. I mean, you can still bring in these types of colors in desaturated hues, bringing them in the artwork, bringing them in blankets, decorative items into your space. So it doesn't always necessarily mean to be paint colors as well. Because I mean, this is a really punchy, bold kind of color. So it's okay if you don't like it. We can still stick to the neutrals, but let's bring in some of those different tonalities to really kind of spice up the space and give it that very layered, sophisticated look. So another color that's back is Neomint. So we're seeing this huge influx of color. This is such a beautiful thing. We're seeing it in textiles and imagery, in fashion. I mean, you name it, and this Neomint color is absolutely on it. So this is the outcome of that jungle / Viridian theme that we saw last year in 2019-2020 crossover. So this is really interesting to see how the color evolves through time. So it's not that these colors are going away, they're just kind of transforming and how we use them in the space. So it's a very softer, subtle green that we've invited into our space for
I love this
2021.
color. I find it very calming and very soothing.
Yes.
And because it's light, like one of the colors I've recently used is, what was it called? Sea salt.
Yes.
It's very similar to this.
Mhm.
And it's such a nice calming color. And it
Mhm.
gives you just that little touch of color without screaming,
Yes.
making it scream in a room.
For me, that kind of color, I love. Sea salt is one of my favorites as well.
Mm.
It's a very kind of, it has that very spa-esque feeling to
It
the
does.
color.
It
So
does.
it's like, and it goes pretty much with everything. We're seeing a huge influx of this color for a reason, is that it's tonality matching is very forward. It can go with pretty much everything, which is really nice. So I think for overall design trends for this kind of concept of the sanctuary palette, we're looking at Scandinavian design still as our number one. So there's going to be continued focus on these pared down living and sustainable lifestyles that we're really embracing with the beautiful restraints of living with less. You know, we did all of our purging, right? So these warm, minimalist designs, seamless stylings, and clutter-free spaces are really key for creating your own personal sanctuary in your space.
Yep. And I find that, you know, when the space is uncluttered and cleared like that, it really allows your mind and body to focus on what's is important. And it's the mental health and wellness is so key during
Yes.
over I would say the last 10, 11 months, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they say, what is it, the saying? The messy space, messy mind.
Yes.
So you can organize your space,
Yeah.
organize your thoughts.
Yeah. And I know that not everybody has taken advantage of the opportunity to do that, but
Yes.
it's such a satisfying feeling.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Could not agree more. I'm all about that. I mean, we have a blended family here. So, I mean, we're in constant chaos. So my main thing is always trying to create my own personal sanctuary so I can, you know, think and have some headspace. So let's take a look at the sanctuary palette. So I know it's very muted, but there's still a lot of color going on in this palette, right? I mean, we're still looking at your mainstays for your paint color, probably the most neutrals within the palette. So we're looking at the pure white, those Morris room grays, bona fide beige, modern gray, and even that pearl gray, which is kind of like an off color tonality of the sea salt color that we were talking about before.
It's got some green in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're seeing a lot of those warm rust kind of colors mixing with the greens and the grays. So the other colors, I would say, you know, as previously stated, that these are transitional colors. So they can be brought out through decorative items like your arts, your fabrics, your tiles, your drapery, really creating that, again, layered, sophisticated look.
And I see Urbane Bronze there.
Yes. So Urbane Bronze is our 2021 color of the year for its pure versatility across all kind of design material wise. We're seeing those colors. Yeah, it's not quite a brown. It's not quite a gray. It's not quite a black. It's somewhere in the middle of all three of those. So it's a really nice mix. So that's where we're going with the colors. Let's talk a little bit about product.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the, I guess, technology that that Sherwin-Williams has been working on, and tell us about that.
Okay, so first I want to start with the functional properties of paint. So the primary function of paint is to protect the substrate, right? I mean, we're using the right paint to keep steel from rusting, wood from rotting, drywall free of stains and dirt. Paint also transforms the look through color, sheen, and its ability to highlight certain design elements. And also, due to the advancements in the coating technology world, some paints can actually do more than protect and to beautify. They can improve the indoor air quality altogether.
That's amazing.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So, Nina, what do you think when you hear the term air pollution?
Yeah, so air pollution, I think of smog, smoke, dirt, difficulty in breathing, traffic.
Exactly. That's the same thing that I think of too. So it really conjures up these images of, you know, cars sitting on the 401, that big, huge factory in Hamilton with those big, huge plumes of smoke, and who knows what they make there. But according to the Environmental Protection Agency, most Canadians spend about 90% of their time indoors, where pollution levels are often higher than they are outdoors.
Which is so crazy.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So some of the materials that can really contribute to this indoor air pollution of your home are flooring, fabrics, wood products like flooring and cabinetry, paint, and also the chemicals in cleaning products, and many, many more.
Isn't that
There's
crazy?
tons of things that are polluting your indoor air, especially in the winter months here in Canada, where we're keeping our windows shut. We're just rebreathing in all of these different types of chemicals.
No wonder there's so much respiratory and allergy issues. Not just COVID, but like in general respiratory, because I have asthma, right? And so my house doesn't have any carpet. We have rugs for design purposes, but no carpet because of my allergies and my asthma.
Yeah, that's a big one as well, is thinking about, all of your existing medical ailments before even adding in all of those pollutants on top of that, which is very huge. So let's talk about formaldehyde. What do you think of when you hear the word formaldehyde, Nita?
Dead people.
That's where my mind goes to. I'm glad I'm not the only crazy person out there. So I'm like, I think of like embalming fluid, all of these other kind of scary chemicals that are used, but it's also used in the manufacturing of a variety of products found in residential homes all over the world.
That is crazy.
Why is that? Right?
Why is that? Because of the lasting protective. What is it? Why?
Literally. So it's the protection that we're adding to these products to make them last over a long period of time. So essentially, we're just like we do with the embalming of people. It lasts for a very long time. So I know you're probably thinking, Emily, why in the heck are we talking about this? But formaldehyde is commonly found in building materials such as insulation, fabrics, resins used in manufacturing of composite woods, pressed wood, and also wood-based products, as well as laminates. So if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking of redecorating, renovating, staging. So whether it's important to focus on the products that are going to help reduce these very harmful chemicals in your built environment.
Is it in any paint products?
Sorry?
Is it in any of the paint products that you know of?
No, not in our paint products. But
what? Not yours, but in like other paints.
There are, varying levels. So that's primarily like through alkyds. So like oil-based products. Most products nowadays for consumers are latex only, especially here in Canada, when our V.O.C regulations are extremely, extremely tight. And I'm very glad that they are, because it's improving the health of a lot of the Canadians just within that kind of painting category.
Right.
There's other things that can raise the formaldehyde off-gassing levels in your home as well. Looking at wood stoves, gas stoves, wood-burning stoves, kerosene heaters, if you're really old school, can raise the formaldehyde levels as well. But according to the Department of Health and Human Services in 2011, they claimed the formaldehyde off-gassing properties of all of these different products as a serious health threat. So they're saying that it's a natural or carcinogen and should be avoided at all costs. So
and yet it still remains in those products.
And it still remains in those products. There's lots of change going on in industry as people become more aware of these non-toxic products that they can start using.
Oh gosh,
but I mean,
I hope
still,
so.
There's a lot of things that people just don't know about the chemicals that they're bringing in unknowingly, with best intentions to redecorate and make their house beautiful, but they're actually polluting their house in the same process.
Yeah.
So what can we do about it? So this is introducing to you the Super Paint with Air Purifying Technology. So this product is available in a huge variety of colors, including some color sets that we have put together for you, which have 540 beautiful hues, which is a part of the Living Well collection.
Excellent. So now, can you get the older paint colors in this finish as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So this paint can be tinted to any color underneath the sun through Sherwin-Williams.
Okay.
That's no problem there. It's just we've offered kind of this collection of colors, which is a part of the Living Well collection.
Okay.
So these are just nice presets that that they're going to all work together in your home and kind of speak to each other nicely.
Awesome.
So this one.
And so how does it work?
So
Sorry,
this
I'm
one,
probably asking you and you're ready to talk about that. Sorry.
no, that's okay. We're on the same page. We're always on the same page. So this one has formaldehyde reducing technology, and it really takes the paint from this passive building material to this active problem solver in the indoor air environment.
So like, what
Let's
does it
talk
do? Like it absorbs it?
pretty much. So we're talking about how it, those formaldehyde gases from all of those things that are off gassing in your house comes in contact with the painted surface. The paint then breaks down the organic compound at the molecular level, disrupting that carbon chain. It then converts the formaldehyde into a water molecule and turns it into a harmless inert gas, which is completely unharmful to humans. It then neutralizes and reduces the formaldehyde in the room from building materials such as, the carpets, the wood, the fabrics that we've already mentioned.
This is
very
amazing.
cool technology.
But it's different from zero VOC, right?
That is correct. So VOCs are completely different. So those are volatile organic compounds that also off gas, but those are a different category. So those are primarily found in things like paint and aerosols and different things like that, like spray paints. So those products typically in Canada are pretty much banned for anything that's over a certain VOC level. So for all of our products, they're pretty much zero VOC or listed as zero VOC themselves. So this is under 50 grams per gallon of VOCs, which is extremely, extremely low.
So it's if it's under 50, it can still be claimed as zero VOC?
No, this product is not zero VOC.
Okay, so it's just
so
low.
This one does. So paint doesn't off gas for as long as other typical types of products. When we're talking about off gassing from formaldehyde, that off gases for quite a long period of time. The off gassing from paint only off gases until it's dry. So latex paint, we know dries in about 4 hours. And cure time is 7 weeks, 1 week.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So another thing we always want to talk about, especially if you're staging your home, you're trying to sell your home, or you just want to get rid of some odors in your home. This also has odor eliminating technologies. So, how many times have you entered into someone's home where you're greeted by this wafting smell of onions or wet dog or something else? So, I mean, it happens to us all, right? But I mean, the whole point of it is that any kind of like foul smelling odor can really detract from the most beautiful designs of any space.
That's funny. This is so timely because yesterday I just posted about a tip about, eliminating strong herbs and spices in cooking when you're planning to list your house to sell. So this is very timely. So I would think that this is a great paint to put in bathrooms, mudrooms, and kitchens.
Absolutely. Anywhere that you have kind of like, lots of different types of odors. So this is that zero VOC product that we were talking about. This product is actually so stringent. It meets the most stringent VOC regulations and has achieved the Green Guard Gold certification, which satisfies the LEED V4 criteria, which is one of the strictest building codes in Canada.
I'll believe you.
This one has odor eliminating technology, which is really useful for wherever you have odors accumulating.
That's amazing, like smoke and things like that.
Yes, especially if you're moving into a new place and there's been some, smokers in the house, you may want to paint using either this one or the air purifying technology, depending on if you want a zero VOC product or a very low VOC product, depending on, those two factors.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about how it works. So it's kind of the same thing as a formaldehyde producing technology. So these airborne odor molecules come in contact with the surface painted with the coating containing the odor eliminating technology. Foul smelling compound is then broken down just like it is for the formaldehyde, and then the dry coating neutralizes that odor, and then the unpleasant smells dissipate. And I put this lovely image of the trash can there because it really does detract from like the beautiful imagery that we're seeing. So it's like when you walk in the room, that's essentially what you're feeling, right? You're feeling something that's just taking away from that space.
I'll have to look into this product a lot more because odor is one of those things that is often asked when homeowners are planning to sell. Like, how can we get rid of this quickly?
Yes.
So yeah. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
One of those other things that go on in our homes unknowingly sometimes is mold and mildew, which also has a smell, am I right? So mold grows in warm, damp, humid conditions. Water and steam from showers can create the perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew on the painted surface in your washroom. So as we know, exposure to mold and mildew can trigger things like asthma, allergies, upper respiratory tract systems, coughing and wheezing. So it's a pretty serious thing. There's lots of serious side effects that you can get from especially mold, right?
Yeah.
So what can we
sure.
do about that? We have products which have antimicrobial mold and mildew resistance. So this product is called Duration Home. It keeps your busiest spaces protected. So this is one of the paint primer in one, which provides outstanding coverage in fewer coats. It contains that antimicrobial agents that inhibit the growth of mold and mildew on the painted surface. So it also has advanced stain blocking technology, which helps hide old stains and allows most new ones to be washed with water. So you're not bringing in any more chemicals.
So you can cover, like, once the mold has been remediated and cleaned up, it can be painted over to cover up any stains.
That's right. Absolutely. So using your bleach and water compound to make sure that you're killing all of the mold within the space prior to painting. Because anything that's underneath the substrate is still going to continue to grow. So unless you absolutely eliminate that mold problem first, it's still going to, be there at the end of the day. So starting with brand new drywall, if there's like a really severe mold problem, once you fix all of the stuff behind the scenes, behind your drywall, of all of like the leaks and things that happen there, then we can go ahead and paint with the new product, and it will make sure that your space stays clean, stays mold and mildew free.
Awesome.
And that's it. I mean, we have tons of different paint technologies suited to different lifestyles and different specific projects that I really do urge you to just ask Sherwin-Williams. You're the leaders in product innovation, and when you're thinking of starting a project, definitely thinking about color and product to get those really professional results at the end of the day.
Yeah, perfect. Can I just ask you to stop sharing, and then we'll go back to the normal screen?
Yeah.
And definitely. I myself rely on my Sherwin-Williams contacts a lot to when I have questions, like technical questions.
Yes.
Right? About the different types of paints and finishes and things like that. So, and there are lots of contacts out there that, like, our viewers can go to any stores and ask for assistance and for help. And of course they could ask me too. One of the things I wanted to ask was, we live in our home is a new build. It's fairly new. So we still have a lot of builder paint. The builder paints are awful. Like, you can't wash them. Like, the minute you take something to clean it, the whole thing just comes off.
Yes, the varnish is off.
Yeah, what kind of paint is that? Why is the quality so bad?
Well, I can't speak specifically to those products, but I guess that's kind of just more of a one and done. They don't really, I don't know if they would put more than one coat or what the situation may be, but always updating your paint when you first moved in is always recommended, because you are going to eventually, especially in like your foyer in those high traffic areas, people will inevitably be putting their hands on the wall to take off their shoes, kids running around, dogs, pets, whatever you've got going on in your house. There's always room for improvement when you're changing the color of your space. And it's also a way, design wise, to get your personality into your unit space.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. And I think that with a brand new home with brand new materials, I would think that there would be more off gases too, right? So painting and covering, protecting your home with some of the paints that you've discussed, the clean energy paints that you've discussed, is beneficial for the whole family as well within a new home.
Absolutely. Could not agree more, Neil.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. I learned a lot myself. I've attended some of your training programs as well, and I always learn a lot, and I learned a lot here today as well. So to our viewers, I hope that you learned something as well. And like I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions about paint and the finishes and the new technology, make sure that you reach out to your Sherwin-Williams contact locally. I know that they will be able to help you as they have with me. And if you need any help with selecting colors, make sure that you reach out to me for a color consultation. I'm happy to do that virtually at this point. And I'll be able to guide you and help you select paints and finishes with confidence so that you can improve your home, improve the quality, air quality of your home, and beautify your home at the same time. Thank you again for tuning in to this segment of Ask Nina. I hope that you've enjoyed Emily's talk, and please make sure you check back with us again next time for another great segment of Ask Nina. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. You have a great day now. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.